Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your reading for June 2019. My name is Melanie. Apologies for the lateness of this reading. It's already like a quarter of the way through June. Anyway, let's just get into it. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising sign Aquarians. It's a general reading, so of course it may or may not resonate. So just bear that in mind and take what you like and leave the rest. So there's 5 cards for a monthly spread that I do. The first card there representing the past and past energies that may be a factor in what's coming through this month. You have the 3 of Cups. The second card along being about current issues this month, current situation. The 8 of Coins or the 8 of Pentacles. The third card being about possible obstacles that may show up this month. You have the Hermit card. The fourth card being possible helpful tools this month. You have the 10 of Cups, and the outcome card for the month is the Fool. The card lying down representing kind of the overall theme for the month is called, which is from a different deck of cards obviously that I use more like oracle cards. That card that came through for you guys is called Lightning, and that represents change, and I'll be reading about that card at the end of the reading after I've done all the tarot cards. We'll see if it all ties together. Hopefully it does. Okay, so starting with the first card there representing the past, any past energies or past situation which may be a factor for this month. You have the 3 of Cups card, which is a lovely card of celebration, of joy, of coming together, community, socializing, creativity, connecting on a really deep emotional level, coming together with a group of loved ones to celebrate, you know, a real happy gathering. Celebrating means something has been resolved, there's sort of been a victory, there's been a healing of some sort, and you've really been able to settle into the pleasures of life. You've got some support, if you had some support from people around you, friends, family, peers, and this is kind of the conclusion. Now you're kind of in the play phase after the work phase, and you've been able to rest in some way and kind of celebrate what you've achieved after a period of, say, challenge or working through an endeavour or a project or a goal or some sort of difficult time in your life. Really positive card. So yeah, it looks like there's been something to celebrate in the past, and on some level that is relevant and related to what is showing up this month. And showing up this month, you have the 8 of Coins card there, otherwise known as the 8 of Pentacles. So this is a card of work, of toiling away in the background at something that you've been working on. So it's a card of craftsmanship, sort of apprenticeship, of sometimes a card, a bit of monotony, a bit of boredom, a bit of like, man, why am I still doing this stuff? I've been working and working and working at it. I don't know when it's going to end or what's the point of this, but you are coming to the end, and this card is saying don't give up. Keep toiling away, use your tools, chip away at whatever it is that you're physically working on, if it's a project, if it's something to do with work, and stay focused. This is a card about using your skills to master things and to move up a level, to put in the hard work to learn something new. You know, this can be about employment in some way, in some sort of work that you've been engaged in that has required a lot of focus and persistence. That's, like I said, kind of simple and boring in a way, but it's about getting things done to get to the end of something. It's about having self-discipline, and you know, which sometimes we need self-discipline to function as healthy human beings, and that's what kind of keeps us on the path with that goal in sight when we have to do something that's very repetitive at times. Sometimes you can feel like you're a bit stuck in the rat race and just going through the motions, but this card is saying take heart, you're nearly there. Your hard work is going to help you to succeed. You're building something and building a good foundation, and you need to be consistent in that. Continue to be consistent in developing, continue to work on something new, develop something new, learn something new. which inevitably means you're continually working on skills and you're getting better and better at things, despite any kind of challenges associated with working away on something that perhaps you've been working away on for a very long time. The next card along representing possible obstacles this month, and you have the Hermit card. So typically the Hermit card is a card of introspection, going within to reflect on something, to reflect on your own journey. It's sort of isolating yourself for a reason. It's about being introverted, seeking kind of inner wisdom, seeking truth, seeking justice, seeking enlightenment, but very much being on your own, going on your own now, and going into an inner place and being quite content with that place of soul searching and seeking that inner guidance, taking that sort of self-responsibility. The Hermit is a seeker and a sage, and he or she lights the way for other people. It's not so much holding up the light so he can see. It's more like he's a beacon, or like a lighthouse. But this card currently is in the position of what may be an obstacle this month. So I think it's just a bit of a warning not to cut yourself off too much. So say if you are going into a reflective place within yourself and you're feeling the need to do that, and maybe you are with whatever it is that you're working on, that be wary of not cutting yourself off too much and perhaps getting too stuck in that inner world or in your mind, or and not being too introverted, I would say. You still need to stay engaged or connected in some way, otherwise it might be problematic, even though it's, there might be, you're choosing to kind of reflect and go within, but this card is saying it may not be what is needed right now, or if it is needed, that maybe you're fearful of doing that on some level, and you are resisting that. But my sense is more that this is just more of a warning, just to make sure you stay connected and engaged with other people, and use the people and the tools around you that you have to continue working on a project or whatever it is that you feel like you've been toiling away on for quite some time. And I think the confirmation in that is the Ten of Cups card next to that, in the position of what may be helpful this month. So the Ten of Cups card is sort of another card of celebration, of the rainbow at the end of the storm, of coming together with friends and family and happy families, to really celebrate and feel joyous about something that has typically, I suppose, come to fruition. This is a 10 card, meaning the end of something, the end of a journey, and now there's kind of this harmonious connections and alignment happening through sort of a group process, achievement by all. Card of, like I said, happy families, sometimes marriage, groups, celebrating in groups. So I think this, what may be useful, so what's not useful is to go too far within this month, and what is going to be definitely useful is to lean on those connections, reach out to the people around you in your family, or who are your loved ones, who you have really good, deep, soulful connections with, that you can celebrate the victories with, and who can support you through the challenges of whatever it is that you're toiling away on there, to go outwards instead of to go inwards this month. And finally, the outcome card for the month is the Fool. So he is the very first card of the major arcana, he's 0. And look at the Fool. He is starting out on a brand new journey. He is taking a huge leap of faith. He's packing lightly. He's got his dog, and he's like, you know what? I'm throwing caution to the wind. The world is my oyster, and out I go onto this new journey, with a real innocent, naive kind of energy, being very much the seeker. And I suppose we have 2 cards here of the seeker with the Hermit and the Fool. But traveling really light, with such energy and such sort of youthful innocence, and the sense of real being carefree, spontaneous, excited, you know, having this childlike wonder and optimism about something, about where the universe is taking you, and just kind of blindly trusting that and going, you know what, it's all going to be good. I'm going to be taken care of here. This is a card about not taking things too seriously. You're following your heart, you know, be wary of course of being a little bit too trusting, but embracing whatever it is that is new and is coming in, that you're stepping into right now. There is a whole new world awaiting you, and you are starting off on some sort of new journey. So maybe you do conclude whatever it is that you're working on this month, or a new avenue or a new aspect of that opens up, and you're like, I'm going to take that path, you know, I'm going to do it, you know, I'm just going to trust, I'm going to have faith, I'm going to be like somebody who's just taken a gap year from high school and going, I'm going to go traveling, you know, before I settle down and go to uni or college or work or whatever it is that you might want to do. So a beautiful card, I think, of excitement and abandon, and abandoning kind of old stuff and going off I go into the world, very much living in the present moment, and going on a wonderful journey with courage, with humour, with joy, with lots of potential. This is a card, I think, of lots of potential showing up. So now I'm just going to read from the booklet that came along with the other cards, the Dreamtime Reading Cards. Dreamtime is the Aboriginal Australian spiritual belief system. These cards are really, visually I find them really beautiful, the Aboriginal dot paintings, but also I love the words and the meaning behind the cards. So what I'm going to do now is just read from the book about this card in particular that came through for you guys, and that one's called Lightning and Change. Australia is a country of elemental extremes. We experience periods of drought and flooding. Often summer brings severe thunderstorms with magnificent flashes of lightning, and quite often hail as well. These storms come with very little warning, seeming to spring from nowhere. Lightning, spectacular as it is, can also be deadly. In Australia's harsh climate, it often sparks bushfires that burn destructively through the undergrowth, devastating flora and fauna. Lightning represents change, the kind of sudden change that can easily catch you off guard. Lightning strikes with power and precision, and it can change everything it strikes in a second. It often symbolises a change you didn't see coming. Lightning isn't always negative though. It also provides flashes of inspiration and creativity as it lights up the storm clouds around it. It can offer clarity in the midst of a personal storm. Lightning asks you to use your own personal power wisely to ensure you direct your own energy where it is needed most, and to use the flashes of inspiration and creativity when they become available to create things of beauty and purpose. Power is not something you should use to harm another, inflict pain, or dominate those around you. Lightning asks you to be sure your motives come from a good and positive place. Interesting. I think the positives of that lightning remind me a bit of the Fool, kind of having this flash of waking up one day, having this flash of inspiration and going, you know what, I'm packing my bags, I'm going to book that flight and I'm just going. You know, I've got $50 in my purse and I'm off, kind of thing. And I'm instigating change in my life. I'm starting the journey myself. I'm choosing this for myself, which is, I think, coming from a much more empowered place than being forced to change or forced to change course. If we choose that for ourselves, whether that's spontaneously or through planning and organisation, you know, and I kind of see that Eight of Coins card there a bit more like that, more grounded, more planning, more work and working away on something involved there, rather than just like leaping off the edge of the cliff and hoping that you'll be caught. But either way, both quite positive. So on that note, Aquarians, I'm going to sign off. So thank you so much for watching and listening. I'm really grateful you've given it your time and attention. I will work hard to get the July readings out before July, and I hope the rest of June is all good for you guys. Bye.